Hey,
Hi, Jackie. Jackie's all the way from Wellington, New Zealand. So thanks for tuning in with me this morning. Good to see you again, always smiling, this beautiful lady. So today it was really just wanting to know a bit about you, a bit about what services you offer, your company, and yeah, take it away.
awesome. Well, a bit about me. I am the director CEO of Futurebound. We are a financial services company in Wellington, though we do have a national reach. We have clients all over the country. So we were kind of actually set up pretty well before the economy came to a standstill and we've been in our bubbles. Yeah. So because we do mortgages, insurance, and financial coaching. So since the lockdown, we've been just really boosting up our financial coaching because that's what people need right now. Mortgages, there's still activity happening, and people are getting pre-approved still, mostly
which is good to hear.
Yeah. So things haven't. I think that's one of our messages to people is that, hey, look, I know you're in your homes and you can't really see what's happening, but there's still a lot of business. There's a lot happening in the economy still. It's just not that visible. And so really, there are some brave people who are saying, hey, look, I want to position myself that when we can start going to open homes, or maybe we want to look off the plans and doing an investment property and things like that. So we're quite busy with that.
That's good to hear. That's really good to hear.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's promising for people to see that, that there's some hope. That, one of the big issues I think people are dealing with is their mental health and just staying sane.
It's that whole mindset, I think I talked about it the other day on my social media. It's like you can either get up, get ready, or you can just stay in that same mindset. Oh, it's another day. I'll watch telly and do that. It just depends. But it's very hard for people out there, especially people that are on their own. And that I'm on my own with my animals, but I must say I've never talked to so many people at all, so it's good. So
But I see that's a good point though. It's about recognizing what it is that you need and being able to look at the opportunities. I just did a Facebook Live webinar last night, and some of the feedback that we've already gotten is that they really liked about the mindset and just looking at where are the opportunities. They're not always business opportunities. There are social opportunities. There are reconnecting with people, as a business owner, you get kind of like, you're already in a bubble, before we had to be in our bubbles. So I think it's a time to reach out.
And if anyone wants to watch that, I had a look at it. It's really good. So that's on Jackie's Facebook page. But go on and have a look. And look, Jackie, I agree with you. People in businesses, and myself included, we are in our own wee bubble. We think what we're doing is right and we keep going. But if we don't look outside or, from an outsider looking in, or look at what we're doing, how do we change and how do we make that change? And I think that's the biggest thing. Can you just tell me a little bit more about your financial coaching? Because that's really what a lot of people need right now.
Yeah, so we were actually headed in the right direction without even anticipating what was going to happen. We decided that this year we're going to start focusing on financial health. We have lots of clients who, they've gotten a mortgage with us. Maybe they've moved on to investment properties after their first home. And we were just seeing an opportunity that, hey, even though people seem to be in a financial position that looks good, they're actually not intentionally building wealth. They don't really understand how to have financial health. They don't understand the behaviors that are actually hindering them from moving forward. So we're really kind of digging into and educating people about debt, short-term debt, their mortgage debt, about saving, having emergency funds, really about that mindset. What's the money success mindset that you need to have? And also just practical things like how do I create a spending plan? Like how do I keep track of my money?
Isn't it? It's a future proofing.
It is.
We often live in the here and the now, but actually what it is more about is actually that future proofing. Okay, so then, you know, in 2 years and 3 years, you know, where will I be at? What can I do? You know, what can I be doing now to help me then? Because yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
That's good. Yeah. And you've got quite a few, like, I see you've got quite a few good systems and that set up within your business as well, which, you know, with helping people, which is great. And as you say, you're right around New Zealand, and that's with what you guys offer. So
yeah, so what we did with the webinar is put together a lot of resources that people can actually use. So in the webinar, I talk about them, and then you can sign up for the Financial Strength Toolkit, and then get all of those, you know, download whatever it is you need to be able to do that. And all those things are free intentionally. You know, there were some things we decided not to put in there because, quite honestly, we couldn't offer them for free because we wanted to say, what can we actually help people with? Now, if they want to go further, we absolutely can. And there's a lot of people who are moving forward and saying, look, I need more help, and contacting us, and we're able to do that as well. So there's really, we're hopefully moving away excuses. That's what we want to do, to say, hey, look, we know you're struggling. Let's get together. Let's get through this together.
Yeah. And I think, as you said, if they download the initial tools, then it just gives them a starting point, and then they can say, well, actually, I do need further advice. I need to take this further. And, you know, it's like any coaching. We can't do it on our own. We need somebody else. I've got multiple coaches that help me with different facets of my business. And I wouldn't be where I am now if I, you know, didn't have that. I'd be stuck and I'd be in a standstill. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I've been thinking of the same thing. I've been thinking there's so many things that my coach has been, you know, saying that is coming up. I'm like, oh, that's right. I need to, you know, add this and do this and think about this. And we all need that help, right? Because no one gets to a place of success on their own. As much as we like to take the accolades and take, you know, all of the
glory.
The glory. Exactly. But it's actually a team effort to get there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's, you know, like we met last November, and I think what the biggest thing is, it's about networking and surrounding yourself with those people that can help you. Like, you know, we're doing a joint venture together, you know, that's going to help my real estate business, and, you know, we're working through things. And I think it's, at this time, is most important is to support everybody local and, you know, and take up what they've got, the free resources. But then if you need more, then, you know, take it a bit further, because you're the expert in that area. You know, I'm on businesses and that, but I'm not the financial expert. So, you know, it's about working where you are needing the help, really.
Yeah, agreed. And I think that one of the things that happened when we went into lockdown, as much as I was thinking about my neighbor who's elderly, who lives just around the corner, you know, my friends, my family, what's happening in the US, where I'm from, you know, I also thought about, what about the people who I'm connected to in business? You know, how are their businesses doing? Are they going to survive? You know, so you kind of then build this network of actual support that are saying, hey, look, I want my business to grow with your business, you know, so that means I need to make sure your business grows as well. I mean, you have to do your part because it's not my business, but saying, hey, look, how can I help? And I think that's one of the things that's really helped out, you know, like this interview, you know, being able to say, hey, how can we support each other through this? And I think in the long run, what that does is it helps the client, it helps the customer, because there is actually a web of businesses that are all saying, hey, look, we are teamed up together to make sure we're providing the best service for you as well.
Yeah. And I think the reason why I started doing these interviews was just to be able to promote other people's services, but also educate people out there, like, you know, what is happening, you know, what is available, and, you know, where else to go, really, because pulling, as you say, all of us pulling together to help each other's business, it just makes, you know, I think it's pulled a lot of people together, a lot of businesses together. There will be, unfortunately, some out there that won't be able to carry on, but, or they might have to, as they say, pivot and, you know, look at what other ways they can, because we have to think outside the square at the moment, because this lockdown has changed our world. And it's like, yeah, I'm still being very positive about things, but it's like it's changed, and so we have to make changes as we go. Yeah,
it is quite changed, and nobody fully knows
No.
what it's going to be like
No.
when we come, go back into the world. What does it look like? We don't know, which is actually exciting. For a lot of personalities. Some personalities are like, that sounds scary.
Like us.
But for
personalities like us that are, what opportunities?
I'm like, what can we do? That means we get to mold it, right? So that means start thinking about, what might be the needs of people once we actually get back into that. Obviously, there's going to be a huge, so there's already the influx of people being online. That's not going, it'll taper off a bit, but for businesses, they've invested so much into getting online and having their employees be remote. They're not going to just completely pull back from that and go back to business as usual. It doesn't make financial sense or business sense. Exactly. So there's already people in that space. That means that they're going to want to grow that and make sure that this investment during this time is not wasted. So there's tons of ways that you can think of. How can I actually grow my business, pivot, like you said, to start addressing the needs of this new world we're in?
Yeah, it is. It's looking at your clients, your customers, and saying, okay, what are their needs? How can I add value to them? What can we do moving forward? Because, as you say, it is unknown. Poor Jacinta, every day the media asks her the same questions, but she doesn't know either. She doesn't know what's in, she can't predict the future. She can only give guidelines on, on what she's doing. So, yeah. So, no, I think, as you say, it's great to connect. It's great to know what other services are out there. So people can look you up on Facebook. Is there any other ways of contacting with you?
We are on LinkedIn as well, and we have a YouTube channel called Futurebound Videos. So obviously on our website as well, there's ways to contact us and send us an email, info@futurebound.co.nz. We're everywhere, so look us up.
Yeah, and if anyone didn't get any of that and they can contact me and I can definitely pass their details over to you, Jackie. And I'm looking forward to doing future business with you. And you guys are just so exciting, you're innovative, and it's just nice to be with someone that has that high energy. And while this is all going on and you're still bubbly and still there, which is great.
Yes, absolutely. No, and thank you so much for this opportunity and to be in this interview. It's just great. It is really great connecting and just being able to help out as well. Hopefully this interview has helped anyone that is just needing a little bit of motivation, if not anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And guys, no, we did not color coordinate and say, hey, we both wear red today.
We're just amazing in red. That's what it is.
Red needs vibrant and colorful, doesn't it? So
that's
there
right.
You go. That's us. Yeah. Thank you, beautiful lady. And I will be back in touch.
All right.